Good evening, good evening, good evening, my friends. I know this is not my normal time for broadcasting. Definitely don't have any intent of being on here long. I'm going to give it about a minute to send out that notification on YouTube and Facebook. I just want to take a little bit of time this evening. And as you see the information saying, set the record straight. I don't have my branding up. I don't have any of that information up. But I just want to talk plain, clear. I only usually refer to myself in context to a subject matter, but tonight I'm about to be the subject matter. So I want to just kind of get this in and get out of the way. And every so often, I think this is necessary in our lives. We just have to, not necessarily get on and do a broadcast, but, let somebody know, a friend, family member, coworker, got to set the record straight, got to get some things corrected, or at least get the right mindset in the way things need to be considered. And Dr. Phil, I know this is not a popular reference, but Dr. Phil said, you got to teach people how to treat you. So let me do this real quick. It's been about a minute. Let me do this, and I'm off here. I got work to do. Already got myself ready to go. But let me say this. What you see there, it says, is I'm full-time single. I'm full-time single. And I want to coin this phrase tonight. Feel free to take it, run with it, let it spread across the world so that people can get an understanding. What I mean by full-time single, the first part is full-time. I have a full-time life. I am a father. At 48 years old, I have a 12-year-old standing about 20, 25 feet away from me, doing his own thing, not paying any attention to me, but I'm a father. And my child is in my home, and he's growing up. I got that responsibility. Then I work a full-time job. Now, for those of you who work 8 to 5, 8 to 4, I used to do that, 8 to 4:30. Was a school teacher, get done about 3:30. That's cool. You get done, but you know a little bit about doing some work after work, right? Which I got sitting here in front of me. I don't work an 8 to 5. I don't work a 7 to 3. I don't work a 3 to 11. I don't have a schedule set like that. So not only am I a full-time dad, I'm a full-time independent contractor working in mental health. So even though I have weekends off, that could change in a heartbeat. I can get a call from a client and all of a sudden I'm busy. I'm busy. So that's how it goes. I'm full-time. I'm also in ministry. And while I'm not necessarily right now doing a whole lot in that regard, that's not because I don't want to. That's just a matter of timing and season and circumstances. I'm going to a new place of worship. So as I get acclimated and they get to know me and I get to know them, eventually that's going to change. So when I say I'm full-time, I'm not talking about a particular job. I mean, my life is full-time. My life is full-time, and I'm fully invested in it. I enjoy my life. But not only am I full-time in terms of my work, in terms of my son, I'm full-time in terms of even my social life. In other words, the life I'm living as, here's the second part, a person who is single. I live this way because I'm single. And I think a lot of times people don't quite understand. Now, here's a difference. When I say full-time single, I mean I'm fully living the life I want to live in full view of the fact that I am single. I know that was a mouthful. I'm going to break it down. Ready? Now, I've met many people in 7 years of being single who don't want to be single. And so they talk like this, even though they may work a full-time job, even if they're still raising their children, raising their grandkids, whatever the case may be. Gabe, I'm willing to change something so that I can get into a relationship. Cool. Congratulations. Wonderful. I'm glad you know that. But Gabe is not going to do that. Full-time single. So in other words, the reason why I work the way I work, the reason why I engage my son the way I do, the reason why I socialize the way I do, see what I'm doing? All the aspects, even my chill time by myself, is because not only am I single, but I fully intend to be single until I have a change of thought to be in a relationship. So until then, I'm going to continue to engage my life. I'm going to continue to work the way I do, continue to engage my son the way I do. Matter of fact, may do more now that he's older, and even socialize the way I do. It's not going to change. So if I so happen to go out on a date, that date's not going to turn into a relationship. Why? I'm full-time single. In other words, I'm fully invested in my life as a person who is single. I live my life the way I do because I'm single. Get it? Full-time single. But Gabe, why do you go on dates? You're playing games. That's nonsense. I'm a human being. And so socializing is a necessary part. Unfortunately, too many single people I know, because it's either you're dating to get married or nothing, you cut yourself off from a social life. I don't. Now, I may not be out and about all the time. Okay, cool. But when the time comes, I like to socialize, even if it's go out by myself, which I did just a couple of weeks ago. The reality of it is when I'm sitting and watching TV, even if I'm by myself, I'm engaging. I'm watching my movie. I'm watching a show. I'm enjoying myself single. Get it? If I so happen to be sitting across from someone and we're talking and engaging in a conversation, I'm still doing it single. Get it? So before that night's over, I'm coming in my own house, into my own room, getting in my own bed by myself. Single. I shouldn't have to go any deeper than that. Hopefully the message is clear. Now, let me say this. Okay, why this whole broadcast then? Why jump on here and do this? Because let me address those who want to go on and on about texting as opposed to calling. Well, since I'm full-time single and I live my life in accordance to the fact that I'm single, no, I don't have a lot of time to be on the phone. I don't have a lot of time to be texting. I don't. So when I do either one of those things, socially speaking, be appreciative. If you so happen to get a text from me that's not related to business, that's a good morning or good evening or hope you're doing well, then appreciate that. Don't come at me about, well, I don't like to text. I want to talk on the phone. Okay, so go find you somebody who you can talk on the phone with, who seems to have a whole lot of time for that. I don't. And I'm not going to reorganize. Full-time single, I'm not going to reorganize my life to be able to have time for that. Because I live my life in the manner in which I do, successfully, by the way. Just spend time with my son. Now I'm going to do some work, and I don't have anyone I'm obligated to catch up with them. Oh, my bad. I was supposed to call you. Now, time comes into a relationship, I will shift my life in such a way it's not even a matter of do I have the time to call them. It won't be a matter of do I have time to communicate with them, maybe every single night. But until that time, I'm full-time single. My life is built, structured, lived in a way, and very intentional, which means the value I put, as a matter of fact, coming from somebody like me, if you get any communication from me, you understand I must have really had you on my mind. See, that's the way to interpret this. If Gabe contacted me, or if Gabe got on here to communicate something, or Gabe is doing a broadcast on Thursday nights at 9 Central Standard Time or Wednesdays at 7, Gabe values the people with whom he is broadcasting for and to, enough to take time out of his life to do it. See, we got the wrong interpretation because we're in a different space. Well, Gabe, what's motivating this? Well, after 7 years, you could imagine of being single, I come across one person after another because maybe they don't work. Maybe they're retired. Maybe they're laid off. I don't know. Maybe they're on vacation. And they really are looking for someone, truth be told, to fill their time. I'm not a time filler. I'm not a person to entertain you, even though I may be entertaining in my basic personality. I'm not trying to be somebody's entertainment. You didn't do anything all day, and you're looking to hear from me because you want me to help you fall asleep. or you want me to make you laugh, or you want me to be thought-provoking and fill up a couple of hours of your time. Sorry, sorry. And every once in a while, you got to give yourself permission to tell somebody close enough to you, you know what? I appreciate what you're doing, what you're really trying to get me to do, but that ain't me. And if that means that you won't talk to me anymore, you block me, you delete my number, that's fine. I deleted a few numbers in my day as well. I don't block people, but I have no problem with deleting people. None at all. I've contacted people and didn't hear back from them at all. Not saying it, and this ain't just females, this is males. I thought they were friends. I didn't hear back from them. My heart wasn't broken. Much respect. You can't communicate with me in whatever form. That's cool. I get it. You're busy. You're living your life. I'm no longer a part of it. Cool. See, that's maturity, ladies and gentlemen. That's maturity. So why did I jump on here to do this? Because I got a few people on Facebook and maybe a couple of people on YouTube who might want to hear from me a bit more often than they do. And I want to just in an indirect way, let them know why they don't. And if they can understand it, we're good. If they can't understand it, they're not good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm full-time single. I literally live my life the way I do because I don't have a relational responsibility. Let me be clear. Full-time single means I don't have a relational responsibility beyond my son. So therefore, other than him, have I bend my work schedule in light of him? I make sure I'm available when as much as I can be to pick him up from school, summer school, whatever the case may be, to make sure our evenings are clear when he's with me so we can have our TV, movie time, eat dinner together. I still have work to do. He wants to enjoy his game. Cool. But I make sure we have our time. Why? Because that's the only human relationship on the planet as of right now I have any obligation to. Otherwise, I'm single. Get it? I'm single. So I'm not going to bend my life to anybody. Anybody. And I'm an independent contractor on my job. So even they can be only demand my time in a certain way. I want to work part-time, I work part-time. I want to work full-time, I work full-time. That's the nature of an independent contractor. And if that doesn't work for them, they can just say the contract is broken, and that's fine. And I have to go somewhere else. But please understand, and I'm doing this not just for me, but I get the feeling there are others out there who are getting tired of being somehow accused of some nefarious thing. All you do is text. You ain't got time. Yeah, they don't got time for you. It doesn't mean they don't have time to socialize. And are you suggesting that people like myself shouldn't socialize? Are you suggesting that we should just sit around our house when we ain't got nothing to do and just twiddle our thumbs and not have any conversations because we can't have as much conversation as you want us to have? When did you get to decide and dictate to us, because we work and we're engaged in our lives full time, that unless we're available to be able to communicate and call and sit on the phone, as they used to say, all day long and all night long? I'm at the gym no later than usually 3:45, 4 o'clock. I'm at the gym. So that means I'm not going to bed at 1 in the morning, right? I'm doing that on purpose. I'm not going to the gym that early because I absolutely have to. I go to the gym right now. I go to the gym at that time because my schedule allows me to. It affords me to. And it works well with making sure I'm available to my son. It works really well. Now, again, I choose to get into a relationship. I might have to make an adjustment to that. But until then, I'm going to the gym at 3:45 in the morning. I'm going to work when I go. I'm engaging my son when I can. That's what my life is. And I'm encouraging some of you out there who might live a life just as full as mine. You work in double shifts. Yeah, you would like to be in a relationship, but right now, that's not your thing. You know it's not your thing. Don't lie to people. On the flip side, don't lie to people. Don't keep suggesting you're going to completely change your life when you know you're not. You're working the way you work because that's what you want to do. Nobody's putting a gun to your head and telling you work a double shift. You're doing that. And if you, well, okay, I'm doing it because I'm single. Really? That money don't have nothing to do with it? That's a topic for another time. So keep doing what you're doing. And when you feel like now it's time for something else, now it's time for a relationship, then you make that time, and you make that time on purpose immediately. So then when you start dating with the intent to get into an actual long-term relationship, that person ain't got to contend with your double and triple shifts. That person shouldn't have to contend with the fact that you work in 6 days a week, 6 nights a week, plus taking overtime days, and you going to school, and you got your grandkids, and you doing all that. Your life is too full for a relationship. I've done whole broadcast on that. Not going to do that now. I just wanted to jump on real quick and send this message. No, this ain't for everybody, but it's for somebody. And if it's for you, if this is hitting close to home, good. Take it personal. I didn't say nobody's name, but take it personal. Maybe that explains why you send me a text and you don't get an immediate response. Maybe that explains why at 9, 10 o'clock at night, you don't get an immediate response, because I'm probably trying to get some sleep, since I'm going to be up at 3:45 in the morning. So how about this? Stop sending me texts. And I'm not saying a lot of people are doing that, but I'm just saying, if you're dealing with somebody in that space, don't send them a text at 10, 11 o'clock at night and you know they go into the gym at 3 in the morning. If somebody works nights, I know plenty of nurses. If they work in double shifts, I'm not sending them some text trying to get them to chat back and forth with me. No. If they don't get off till 7 in the morning and they went in at 7 p.m., that's a 12-hour shift. That's wrong for me to try to have a full-on, well, I know they get off at 7 in the morning, so now I'm trying to have a full-on text, or if they don't respond, I'm calling them on the phone like they not tired. They just worked a 12-hour shift. How dare I have the nerve? Well, I know you work and you're busy, but I just wanted to see, and you get off at 7. How dare you? How dare you? Have some respect for those who are out there getting it done. If you so happen to be retired, okay, cool. You got a lot of time on your hands. Get you some retiree friends who got time on their hands, who can sit on the phone with you for 2 or 3 hours, who can text back and forth with you, who can go to have coffee at Starbucks or whatever, go to the park. I don't got that kind of time. I'm just being honest. I'm being nice about it. But trust me, I could be talking differently. But every once in a while, I know I need to just kind of send a little message, help people out, And by doing this broadcast, I'll be able to send this out. As soon as I run into a person like that, and they just kind of seem to be a little insistent, I could just send this to them. I encourage you to do the same thing. If you feel like a person is kind of getting a little pushy, you're cool with them, and you don't have the kind of voice I have, you're not the kind of person to just tell it like this, send this out. Bookmark it. Put it in your favorites. Hold on to it. So that way when you need to send a little message, you might have to send it to your boss. You might have to send it to a spouse. You might have to say, hey, boo, watch this real quick. Well, no, just watch this. And they might get upset, but hey, I think I've communicated the message. I'm full-time single. Now, if you're married, be careful with that, because if you're full-time married, then the people outside of you, maybe they need to understand, hey, I got a husband, I got a wife. I'm already working a full-time job. We got kids, we got grandkids. No disrespect, but if I want to spend time with my wife, with my children, with my husband, maybe I'm taking care of an elderly parent. No disrespect. I love you. But if I'm taking care of my mama, I'm taking care of my daddy, I'm full-time. That's full-time. That's full-time. And so, excuse me when I get off work and I'm tired, but I know I got to go home and see about my mom, see about my dad, see about my grandkids. I might not have the time to socialize and talk with you as much as you would like. Now, if you want to stay friends, we could. If you can't handle that, I understand. Do you? I'm going to do me. Have a good evening.